Beijing, a city that seemed to hold its breath that night. A city that never sleeps. On one side, the Great Wall stretched endlessly across the mountains, a timeless reminder of resilience and history. On the other, futuristic towers of glass glittered with neon lights, reaching for the stars. Tradition and modernity stood side by side, complementing each other. Yet on this autumn night, all the grandeur of the city seemed to fade away. Because at the heart of Beijing, something far greater was about to unfold. Something that would make the entire world pause and breathe in unison. A rumor that became fire. For weeks, speculation had swept through the internet. A mysterious invitation had leaked, embellished with a golden dragon, inscribed with cryptic words, "The king will arrive." At first, many dismissed it as just another marketing gimmick, a clever ploy to stir hype. But soon, the world realized it was no metaphor. A silhouette appeared in a promotional teaser. A figure standing tall, hair falling in a familiar way, an aura impossible to mistake. Fans knew instantly, Jungkook. The internet erupted. Timelines filled with frame-by-frame analysis. The stance, the slope of his shoulders, the outline of his jaw. ARMY across the globe whispered the same truth. The golden matinee was about to make history again. Not on a concert stage, but on the runway of one of the most prestigious fashion shows in the world. Anticipation burning. The day before the event, Beijing buzzed with foreign energy. Fans flew in from Korea, Japan, Thailand, Europe, even America. They stood shivering in the cold night air, holding purple banners, dressed in outfits inspired by Jungkook's past looks, singing BTS songs in unison. Inside the venue, the air was no less intense. Fashion media from Paris, Milan, and New York prepared their best pens and cameras. Television networks set up for live broadcasts. Influencers teased snippets online, driving anticipation to its peak. And as the sun sank below the horizon, the atmosphere felt like the quiet before a storm. The doors open, the world halts. At precisely 8 p.m., the lights dimmed. Conversations ceased. A single orchestral note rang out, followed by a majestic melody that filled the hall. Spotlights swept across the ceiling, painting golden waves of fire. Then, the towering black doors at the end of the runway began to open. Silence consumed the room. Every heartbeat seemed to slow in unison. And then, he appeared. The emperor of the runway. Jungkook entered, clad in a sleek black suit embroidered with threads of gold that shimmered under the light. The design was a flawless union of East and West, tradition intertwined with innovation. His hair framed his face perfectly, his expression calm yet commanding. Every step was measured, deliberate, echoing like drums inside the chests of the audience. His shoulders square, his gaze sharp yet warm, sweeping the crowd with quiet authority. He wasn't just walking, he was owning the room. Gasps filled the air, some clapped instinctively, others simply froze in disbelief. In that moment, Jungkook was no longer just an idol. He was an emperor upon the runway. Cameras flashed relentlessly, capturing every angle, every detail. His expression shifted like a story unfolding, mysterious, then intense, then soft with a faint, knowing smile. Each change was a narrative. Each pose transformed fabric into living art. A critic would later write, "Jungkook doesn't wear the clothes. The clothes wear him. He turns fabric into narrative, stitching into emotion, and the runway into theater." The roar of reaction, applause erupted. Designers stood. Celebrities whispered in shock. An acclaimed actress in the front row covered her mouth, overwhelmed by emotion. Fans outside could no longer hold back tears. For them, this was not just a fashion show. It was the culmination of years watching Jungkook grow, from a shy teenager in a cramped practice room to a global superstar who could conquer any stage. "He's not just Jungkook from BTS anymore," one fan whispered through tears. "He's the icon of our generation." The global explosion. As the hall thundered with applause, the outside world ignited. Within minutes, hashtags like #Jungkook in Beijing, #FashionKingJK, and #Legend on the Runway dominated Twitter's global trends. Clips of his walk spread like wildfire across TikTok, Instagram, and Weibo. Fans slowed the footage frame by frame, analyzing every step, every glance, every smile. Fashion experts flooded media with commentary. A New York stylist declared, "If Jungkook wanted, he could end his music career today and rise as a professional model. His aura is simply undeniable." The humble gesture. As the show drew to a close, all the models returned for the finale walk. Yet as the lights dimmed once more, only one spotlight remained. Jungkook stood at center stage, his face serene, his lips curving into a gentle smile. He bowed deeply, simple, humble, yet resounding with meaning. The audience rose to their feet. Applause thundered like a storm. Some cried openly, others shouted his name over and over. And when he lifted his head again, his eyes shimmered, reminding everyone that even in greatness, he remained profoundly human. Later, backstage photos surfaced. Jungkook was seen laughing with staff, chatting casually with models, even kneeling to help a crew member pick up a fallen prop. A small act, but one that spoke volumes. "He's not just the perfect face and body for fashion," the head designer told the press. "He is kindness itself. That is his true power." The echoing impact. The next morning, Jungkook graced the front pages of fashion magazines worldwide. Vogue hailed him as the future of fashion royalty. Elle wrote simply, "He came, he walked, he conquered." Analysts predicted staggering economic impact. Any brand tied to him could see its value surge by billions. Yet beyond money, something deeper had been set in motion. Jungkook had become more than an artist. He was now a cultural icon, bridging industries, generations, and traditions. Reflection. From Busan to the world. For ARMY, that night was more than a fashion show. It was symbolic. It marked the evolution of a boy who debuted in 2013, shy, uncertain, into a man who now stood tall as a global icon, transcending music, art, and now fashion. Jungkook had proven himself limitless. He could sing, dance, write, produce, and now command the runway with the poise of royalty. He reminded the world that true charisma cannot be taught, it is born. That true art defies categories. And that true greatness never abandons humility. That night, Beijing was more than a city. It became a stage for history. The night when a boy from Busan walked the runway and shook the foundations of the fashion world. The night when Jungkook's charm lit not only the catwalk, but the hearts of millions across the globe.